The fall of crypto friendship. Friends kill each other over coins. In 2017, cryptocurrency was more than just a new financial trend. It was a revolution. For many, it promised wealth beyond imagination, a chance to break free from the conventional financial system. But for a group of four friends, crypto didn't just change their bank balances. It changed everything. This is the story of how four friends, bound by years of shared memories and loyalty, were torn apart by their involvement in cryptocurrency. It all started innocently enough. Back in high school, there were four of us: Jake, Sam, Ethan, and me. We weren't the closest group, but we had something that kept us together. We understood each other, shared the same sense of humor, and respected each other's dreams. There were no real divides. We were the kind of friends who didn't compete. We supported each other. Then came 2017. The world was buzzing about Bitcoin, and to be honest, none of us really knew what it was. I remember one night, Sam casually mentioned, "Bitcoin's going up. Maybe we should all throw $100 at it." We laughed about it, brushed it off, and carried on with our lives. But over the next few weeks, the conversation didn't fade. It intensified. We saw the headlines, the news reports, the stories of people making millions. It was hard not to get curious. Jake, who was always the first to dive into something new, took the plunge. He bought Bitcoin. Then he bought Ethereum. Soon, he was talking about it all the time. "This is the future," he'd say. He was obsessed with the idea of decentralization, of blockchain technology disrupting the status quo. Sam, Ethan, and I just watched. None of us really understood it, but there was something magnetic about Jake's enthusiasm. Eventually, we all jumped in. At first, it was fun. We started a group chat where we'd share news articles, speculate about the next big coin, and laugh at the memes we found. It wasn't just about the money. It was about being part of something bigger. We were learning together, exploring this new world, and it felt like an adventure. But soon, the fun started to shift. The enthusiasm grew, but so did the tension. By 2018, the market had crashed, and we were no longer talking about the incredible gains we'd made. We were focused on the losses. I remember when Sam suggested, maybe we should pull out, just take whatever we have left and cut our losses. But Jake refused to hear it. "This is just a dip," he said. "You don't get it, Sam. We're in it for the long haul." Jake's optimism was infectious, but Sam wasn't so sure. He had concerns, and as the months dragged on, those concerns only grew. Sam wanted to minimize the risk, but Jake saw this as an opportunity to buy the dip and ride it out. The more Sam questioned, the more Jake doubled down. Eventually, it became clear that the dynamic was shifting. I was caught in the middle. I didn't want to upset Jake, but I also saw Sam's point. Part of me agreed with Sam. The market was unstable, and we were gambling with our money. But Jake's energy was hard to resist. So, I went along with it, just like the others. I told myself that this would all pay off eventually. As 2019 came and went, it wasn't just the market that was fluctuating. Our friendships were beginning to show signs of strain. Jake kept pushing. He kept obsessing over his crypto portfolio. And while some of us were starting to lose interest, Jake was doubling down. "This coin is going to the moon," he'd say about his latest pick. He was convinced that his future depended on this one investment. Sam wasn't as convinced. He had seen enough of the volatility. He started to pull away, not just from the market, but from the group. Jake kept pushing. "You just don't get it," he'd say. "This is the opportunity of a lifetime." Ethan, who was always the peacemaker, tried to keep the balance. He kept telling Jake and Sam to tone it down, but it wasn't working. The arguments got louder. The group chats became more toxic. What had once been a shared interest, a fun and educational hobby, had turned into something more insidious. It wasn't about camaraderie anymore. It was about winning, and winning at any cost. By 2020, things had escalated. The market was beginning to recover, and Jake was feeling more confident than ever. He started showing off his portfolio. He'd send screenshots of his latest gains and remind the group about how he had called it. But Sam wasn't impressed. In fact, Sam was getting increasingly frustrated. He had lost a lot of money chasing coins Jake had recommended, and he was fed up. One night, Sam had had enough. He expressed his concerns about Jake's most recent pick, a coin that had been hyped up as the next big thing. "Jake, this coin is a scam," Sam said. "We need to pull out before we lose any more." Jake's response was swift and brutal. "You're just scared, Sam. You're always scared of taking risks. You don't have the vision to make it." Sam didn't back down. "It's not about being scared. It's about being smart, and you're gambling with all of our money." That's when the real fight began. Jake refused to listen. He couldn't fathom that Sam wasn't on board with his plan. He lashed out. Sam wasn't backing down either. "I'm not doing this anymore," Sam said. "This isn't fun. I can't trust you with this anymore." And just like that, Sam left the group chat. Ethan followed soon after. The group, which had once been so close-knit, was torn apart. It wasn't just about the market anymore. It was about trust. It was about respect. And it was about knowing when to walk away. The remaining months were a blur. I stayed in touch with Jake, but the friendship wasn't the same. The excitement had faded. What had once been a shared adventure was now a series of tense conversations about coins, trades, and profits. But I knew it was different. I could feel it. We weren't friends anymore. We were competitors. Jake kept pushing me to invest more, to take bigger risks. But I knew the cost of it now. It wasn't just the money. It was the people I had lost. Crypto had torn apart something I thought was invincible, and the more I invested, the more I realized that the thing I was really losing wasn't in my wallet. It was in my relationships. Today, the group is no more. Sam and Ethan have walked away from crypto. They've moved on with their lives and they don't look back. Jake, however, is still deep in the game. But the excitement is gone. The friends he thought he could rely on, gone. And I'm left reflecting on what we lost. Not just the money, but the friendships that had once meant everything. Crypto is powerful. It's revolutionary. But it's not worth losing yourself, or the people who matter most, in the process. As we chased the next big win, we lost sight of what truly mattered.